Cousins feeds to Gay. Good on the baseline, Jay. Gay's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And you said it. I mean, the Kings had a tough time on defense. They also gave up the most fast break points in the league. I mean, they had a tough time getting back and defending in transition.
Now, here's Mbah a Moute. Paul outside. Offline with his three. The Kings trail by 10. Rondo kicks to Gay. Back to Rondo. High post Cousins. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target.
And the Kings were last in fast break points allowed. As you mentioned, what is odd was that there were rumors last season that the front office wanted to try out cherry picking on purpose. Pretty sure that's one of the worst ideas to try out in the NBA.
Now here's Rondo. Jeff Green missing his last shot. The drive by Cousins. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
The Kings have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts. First one falls for him.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
And Doc Rivers passed the 700-win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well?
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Back to Rondo. It's Gay on the wing. Screen by Cousins. Gay against Mbah a Moute. Lets it go from 11. AC misses.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Here's Redick. Last game we saw him score 13. Gay with the block, but he recovers it. Kicks it out to Paul. Shot to end this cold run. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
So, for the Clippers, Paul Pierce is checked in for Mbah a Moute. Johnson comes in for Green, and it's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. And then for Sacramento, Kufis checked in for Cousins. Caspi comes in for Quincy Acey. And it's Bellinelli in for Ben McLemore. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from Bellinelli.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment. And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
And the Clippers making a change here. Aldrich is checked in. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Sacramento. Now Rondo, following the three-point attempt by Pierce. Kicks it to Bellinelli. There's the three. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's his first foul. Darren Collison, he's checked in for Sacramento. Clippers leading by 7. Paul kicks to Pierce. Crawford outside. From past the arc. There's the bucket. Good. Crawford's got 5 points so far.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle a defense.
Here is Caspi. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Bellinelli dishes to Koufos. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Caspi. Jacks up a 3. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make, he is 1 for 4.
They're having much more success here in the second after missing on a few chances that they had earlier. They've locked in and zoned in here now.
Now here's Paul. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Here's Koufos. He feeds it to Casper. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. And there's the foul, and Darren Collison picks it up. That is his first foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
Clippers leading by 9. Paul kicks to Johnson. It's Pierce on the wing. Can't capitalize on the good pick.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Caspi passes to Koufos. In the corner, it's Bellinelli. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. Quick hands and the ability to anticipate the opening to create a turnover, so valuable, especially for a guard, as we see 2 tremendous talents with their ability to steal that ball away.
You know, and John Stockton, the only player to have cracked the 3,000 barrier in terms of career steals. You ask the fans about Stockton, and it's his passing they'll remember. But if you ask the players he's played up against, they'll tell you it's his defense that was just as sharp.
Sacramento on defense. 9-point game. Aldrich dishes to Johnson. 5 to shoot. Here's Pierce.
They've hit a bit of a slump here in the second after a solid opening quarter.
Again, Pierce missing.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Koufos kicks to Bellinelli. Right wing pulls up from the corner. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Chris Paul picks up that one. A strong season from Darren Collison cut short last year. Greg shut down at the end of last February.
Yeah, he had that issue with his hip, and that kind of ended things for him in what had been a promising season. A shame, since he was having the best of his career to date.
Collison was having a career year last year, guys. I mean, 16 points a game was a career high for him, and he also shot more threes than ever before.
And I think even in the injury-shortened season, Collison showed he is still a starter in the NBA. Now, he's been used as a super sixth man in the past, but he's just as effective, I believe, at starting the game.
Johnson the screen. Now here's Pierce. Not a lot of room. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Well, Paul Pierce hinted that he could hang him up soon. He had that amazing run. Has nothing left to prove in the NBA. And I would say of all the players in last year's playoffs, had some of the most dramatic individual shots we have seen from one guy in a long time.
He did, and you know, you forget he's done that really over the course of his entire career. Just Kind of funny to see him doing it in a Wizards jersey, but you talked about it. He's going to go down as one of the all-time greats, no doubt about it. So many big moments over the course of his career. And also, for all the kids out there, the best maybe footwork we have in our game, if you want to improve as a player, watch Paul Pierce's footwork.
Los Angeles leading by 7. There's 1:26 left in the first half. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one, drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Well, the competitive nature was on display early in the career of Pierce. I mean, he has willed his teams to win his entire career and is baffled by anybody who doesn't want to win as bad as he does.
And that competitive nature that you talked about with Pierce, that's really what sets him apart. He had so many great clutch moments in the postseason. Easily one of the most clutch players in recent memory.
Here's Bellinelli. 5 points in the game. They set the pick. Caspi passes to Koufos. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Koufos has got 4 points this quarter.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a lot of times you don't know why. It takes a little while to work the knots out, but it looks like they're putting it together right now.
Now here's Collison following the shot by Chris Paul.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Redick is checked in. Clippers leading by 7.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.
Oh, without question, Greg. I mean, the wise move would be to get themselves a quick shot so they have an opportunity to get that 2-for-1.
Now here's Collison. There's the screen. Pass to Bellinelli. Now here's Koufos. He's tightly guarded. Caspi. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Hitting your free throws is a good way to get back into it. It stops the clock and extends the game. I mean, you want to take advantage of that situation. And they're shooting much better from the line here in the second quarter. So far, they haven't missed one.
And both free throws good for Caspi. Los Angeles has gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Now here's Crawford. He had 22 points in the win against Dallas. Redick with the bucket. Redick's got 10.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
And we finished one half of basketball. Clippers lead by 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Well, Doc, as we get into the second half, what do you expect to see from this offense you're facing tonight?
Well, they're moving the ball. They're just playing to the hot hand, and we got to expect that. So let's not let anyone get hot. That would be nice.
Coach, thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. From the get-go, it was the Clippers who came out strong. Their biggest lead of the opening period during a very exciting run was all the way up to 13 points. By the end of quarter one, they were way out on top, leading by 13. Second quarter, not quite as good, but still managed to maintain control and enjoy a 7-point advantage at the break. And let us get your thoughts, big fella, on the Clippers.
Well, one thing that stands out is how few turnovers they had. The offense looked in control. They were making nice passes, moving the ball, setting screens. The confidence just seemed to build, and the lead did too. They're a very steady team, keeping those turnovers down. That's the big factor.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Sacramento?
Well, it's never easy to play on the road, and the score reflects that. Just doesn't seem like they're well prepared for this matchup. Every time they tried to make a run, they got derailed. I think to refocus their efforts in the second half, They're going to need to play with a lot more determination for a chance to win this.
And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is about